night. You've been on my mind. When if you want.
All right, so we're back and ready for another deep dive. This time we're heading back into Rain Rose's graffiti love world.
Oh, yeah. I've been looking forward to this one.
Me too.
Yeah.
This series is just so good at capturing, all the feels of modern love, all the complications.
Right. Like, how do we even define love these days?
Exactly. And with technology and everything, it's like a whole new ballgame.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the characters, Rain Rose writes, just feel so real. It's like, someone just like them.
Absolutely. So in this deep dive, we're going to focus on Mia and Sebastian.
Yes, that transcontinental couple.
Yep. They're really dealing with the whole distance thing, trying to make it work with Sebastian in Tokyo and Mia in Toronto.
Yeah, and it's interesting how Rain Rose uses their story to explore this idea of intimacy in the digital age.
Right, like they're so connected through those nightly FaceTime calls, sharing everything.
Like their own little world. But is it enough? I mean, that's the question that keeps coming up, right?
Totally. And then there's that whole thing with the Christmas Symphony. It's a big deal for Mia.
Oh, yeah. The annual Toronto Christmas Symphony Orchestra. I remember that.
And she's so excited, thinking Sebastian's going to be back for it.
Yeah.
But then he drops the news that he can't make it.
Oof. Yeah, that was a rough
I
moment.
could just feel Mia's disappointment. And it's like her whole demeanor changes after that.
Yeah, she gets all quiet and withdrawn.
And her texts get shorter and less frequent, like she's putting up a wall.
It's such a classic long-distance relationship struggle.
Yeah.
Every little thing gets magnified.
Totally. And then you have Deja, Mia's friend, who's never been a big fan of the whole long-distance thing.
Right. Deja's like the voice of practicality in this whole situation.
Yeah, she's definitely skeptical. Like, is Sebastian even worth all this hassle?
But is she just being cynical?
Deja brings this, very grounded skepticism to the whole situation. She's, questioning Sebastian's promises.
Right.
Pointing out how inconvenient it is that he's never around.
Yeah, it's like she's voicing the doubts that Mia might be burying.
Exactly.
But then on the flip side, you've got Pascal entering the picture, this stable presence in Mia's life.
Right.
Offering comfort in a way that Sebastian can't.
Yeah.
For all his FaceTime charm.
It's a fascinating contrast. Pascal's tangible, he's there, he's present.
Right.
He's a real alternative to this virtual world that Mia and Sebastian have built.
Totally. And it's clearly messing with Mia's head.
Yeah.
She accepts his party invitation, then recoils from a kiss. It's almost like she's trapped between this comfort of what's right there in front of her and this longing for something more.
Yeah. She's forced to confront what she really wants and the sacrifices she's willing to make for love.
Right. But meanwhile, on the other side of the world, Sebastian is juggling this major business merger in Tokyo. But clearly Mia's never far from his mind.
Right.
He's going all in on this surprise, meticulously planning everything.
Yeah.
And his mother, Victoria, is surprisingly involved in the whole thing. I did not expect that.
It's interesting how he applies that, strategic business mindset to his personal life.
Yeah.
It says a lot about how deeply he feels for Mia.
Right.
But maybe also a little bit about control, don't you think?
Oh, that's a good point. Does he think he can just orchestrate the perfect moment and, erase all the doubts in the distance?
Possibly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the emerald ring, this stunning family heirloom that belonged to Sebastian's grandmother.
Yeah, it's not just a symbol of love. It's legacy, too. Sebastian's grandfather built their entire empire on these bold moves.
Right.
And this proposal feels like Sebastian's version of that,
Okay, so you've got the emotional weight of the ring, Sebastian's need for control.
Yeah.
And then this beautifully orchestrated convergence at the Christmas Symphony Orchestra.
Right.
Mia's there with Deja. She's even wearing emerald green. Sebastian's favorite color.
Wow.
And what's the orchestra playing? The Nutcracker.
Talk about symbolism.
Right.
The Nutcracker's all about transformation mirroring Sebastian's journey.
His desire to transform this relationship.
And speaking of transformations, have you noticed Victoria?
Sebastian's mother.
Yeah. She starts out as this stoic businesswoman.
Right.
But as she's helping with the surprise, you see this softer side of her emerge.
Yeah.
She even admits that seeing Sebastian happy has changed her.
It's subtle, but it's powerful.
Yeah.
Love breaking down walls, even in someone as seemingly rigid as Victoria.
Right. Such a stark contrast to Deja's cynicism.
Totally.
Yeah, it really highlights that spectrum of how we experience and express love, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, back to the symphony.
Okay.
So Sebastian's worked with the staff, and as the ballet reaches the snowfall scene, bam, his face is on the giant screen above the orchestra.
Oh, wow.
He flew all the way from Tokyo.
What a gesture.
Oh, I know.
Timed perfectly to coincide with the ballet's own transformation.
Right.
Even his words echo the themes of the story they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Love conquers, all that kind of thing.
And then he appears in the balcony looking very dapper, might I add.
Oh, wow.
Drops to one knee, presents the emerald ring,
Right.
and lays it all out there for me, and not just the next symphony, but like every sunrise, every moment.
He said, I'm not just present in your virtual world, Mia. I'm
Yeah.
here in your real world,
Right.
and I'm choosing you.
Yeah, trying to bridge that gap between the digital connection and like the reality of their situation.
Exactly.
And Mia, totally overwhelmed, says yes.
Wow.
What a whirlwind.
I know.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. What happens next?
Oh,
The transcript cuts off there,
that's the genius of it.
right?
It leaves us hanging. It makes us think about the aftermath.
Yeah.
Can a grand gesture like that really address all the doubts and anxieties that had been building?
Right. Is one cinematic moment enough to sustain a long-distance relationship?
Especially one that's been so reliant on technology.
Exactly. I mean, you've got 𝐦𝐤𝐬's skepticism on one hand.
Right. And Victoria's newfound belief in love on the other.
Yeah.
It makes you consider all the different perspectives we bring to relationships.
And what about the emerald ring?
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian's grandfather saw love as the ultimate investment.
Yeah.
But does that investment pay off when you're battling time zones and differing expectations? Feels like a gamble, right?
Yeah.
Betting everything on this one grand gesture.
It is. Kind of makes you think, what does a successful relationship even look like these days? You know,
Yeah.
can love really work when it's mostly through a screen?
Mm-hmm.
Or does it need that, real world grounding to actually grow?
It's that tension between the virtual and the real that I find so fascinating.
Yeah.
They've built this incredibly intimate world online, but can you translate that to a shared life offline?
Right.
I mean, we see Mia struggling with that even before the proposal.
Exactly. And it's not even just about being physically there. It's about sharing experiences, navigating the day-to-day stuff alongside the big moments.
Right. Can those late night calls and grand gestures really make up for all the everyday things they're missing out on?
Yeah, it's a good question.
And then there's the whole issue of compromises.
Yeah.
I mean, Sebastian's world's in Tokyo, Mia's is in Toronto.
Right.
Someone has to make a big change for this to work.
Definitely. Which comes with its own set of challenges.
Totally.
Whose dreams come first?
Oh,
How do you keep your own sense of self in a relationship that asks for so much sacrifice?
it's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
This whole story leaves us with so many questions, and I kind of love that.
I would too.
It's like it just makes you think more, about love and technology and what we're willing to do for connection.
Right. It really challenges the traditional fairy tale ending, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It asks us to look beyond the big romantic gestures and see how complicated love actually is in our digital world.
So for everyone listening, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Did Sebastian's proposal seem romantic, or was it a little, I don't know, manipulative? Can FaceTime really bridge the distance between two people?
Yeah.
And what happens after the curtain falls on this fairy tale moment,
Right.
Hit us up on social media and let's keep talking about it.
Because really this story isn't just about Mia and Sebastian.
Right.
It's about all of us and how we're all figuring out love and relationships in this digital age.
And can they do it in a way that feels authentic and sustainable? Or will they get lost in the digital noise?
Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Rain Rose is going to keep us on the edge of our seats, exploring all the complexities of love in the modern age.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to see where they take us next.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So to all our listeners out there, keep those conversations going, keep questioning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep loving fiercely. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the ever-fascinating world of human connection. Until then, take care and stay curious.
You've been on my mind. Wonder if you won't mind. We're doing